Now we are back at the Claridge Hotel in Atlantic City for the little synopsis of what's going on this weekend at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. It's Thursday, and things are going to get kicked off tonight with a great card at the Ocean Resort just down the boardwalk. Golden Boy Promotions, you can watch it on their Facebook Watch page, and Golden Boy Fight Night Live, and be a good card. Demetrius Ballard in the main event, got the WBC female super middleweight champion of the world, Franchon Cruz Dezern in action, as well as Eddie Gomez, good fighter out of the Bronx, New York, and some up-and-coming fighters, a couple local fighters, Gabriel Pham in action, as well as Danny Murray, guys from the Shore community. So they'll be in action. That begins in about an hour and a half at 7:10. Facebook and their Fight Night Watch Facebook Watch application on their Facebook page. Things really start kicking off tomorrow, Friday, June 21st, with the VIP cocktail reception that begins at 5 o'clock. That's where all the inductees, I'm going to go over the inductees now. Obviously, the main, in terms of the local draw, Bernard Hopkins, who will be one of the hosts of the fight tonight with Golden Boy Promotions. He will be in action. Will not be in action, but he'll be one of the big draws for Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. And I spent a lot of time with Bernard yesterday at the weigh-in afterwards, and told me he's got a lot of people coming down from Philadelphia to witness him in his first of many inductions. So, obviously he's going to go into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in a couple years. I know the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame will definitely have him in some of the biggest wins in Bernard's career took place in Las Vegas. Speaking of great Philadelphia world champions, the former heavyweight champion of the world, terrible Tim Witherspoon, will also be inducted on this weekend. Timmy we see around town. He spends a lot of time in England these days, but Timmy, who won the heavyweight championship of the world, also he's probably most known for his loss to Larry Holmes in a fight that many people believe that he should have gotten the decision in that fight. So Tim Witherspoon will be inducted again here at the Claridge on Sunday afternoon. Also, Iran the Blade Barkley, and I'm going to mention the guy coming in next after him. Iran Barkley probably is getting in on the strength of his win over Roberto Duran that took place here about 30 years ago in basically the makeshift parking lot of the Trump Plaza Hotel. It was a snowy evening. About 8,000 people were able to brave the elements and get to that fight, and it was a classic fight. So Iran Barkley will be here. We'll talk about one of his famous family members who's going to be in attendance this weekend as well. And like I said, I mentioned Roberto Duran was also going to be inducted. A lot of people, I saw a Facebook thread earlier this week, and people calling him the greatest living fighter today. The fighter, I don't know if some fans who are watching this, they can chime in with their opinions on it, but Roberto Duran, who I believe is just landing in Atlantic City, so he will be here this weekend as well. Irish Mickey Ward, two of the three great fights with Arturo Gatti took place about 600 feet away from here in Boardwalk Hall. So Irish Mickey Ward was a fan favorite. He's going to be here. I know he's excited about being down this weekend, as well as Kevin Watts, a guy who fought a lot of great fights here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Local guy, John the Eastern Beast Brown, fought several times for the world title. Good, scrappy fighter. A local guy from Atlantic City, New Jersey, will be inducted this weekend as well. Light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion of the world, Virgil Quicksilver Hill, who is known for being from North Dakota, from Bismarck, but he lived here in Atlantic City for a bunch of years in the I would say the Vineland or Mainland area. He was definitely a guy who spent a lot of time here in Atlantic City. He had a lot of great fights here in Atlantic City as well. Unfortunately, the Butch Lewis, one of the great promoters who's passed on, he'll be inducted. He obviously with Michael Spinks, and Michael will be here this weekend. So obviously we'll get some some comments from Michael Spinks about the late, great Butch Lewis, who will be inducted this weekend into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. We mentioned Bernard Hopkins getting in, and his longtime trainer, the late English Bowie Fischer, another guy who just a great trainer, was with Bernard Hopkins at the beginning, and Bernard, I know, will have some good words to say about Bowie Fischer as well. Ace Murata, famed Cup man, who did a lot of I remember a lot of events fighters back in the day, main events. Kathy Duva got in. Kathy Duva accepted for her late husband Dan Duva last year, and helped build a lot of those fighters: Evander Holyfield, Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker et al. And a lot of great fighters had Ace Murata in their corner as their cut man. Jimmy Binns Sr., a longtime fight attorney, guy with the WBA, and star of several Rocky films. Jimmy Binns Jr., a lot of people know him. He's the tall, gray-haired man with the pinstripe suits always. Manager Stan Hoffman, who had a lot of world champions under his belt, still has a couple fighters, I believe, today that he represents. Stan Hoffman, I've known a long time record business guy, and switched over to boxing and had several world champions as he managed. Nigel Collins, longtime editor of the Ring magazine. Always one thing great about the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, they always recognize someone in the print industry. Guys like Dave Weinberg, Dave Bontempo, Bernard Fernandez have gotten in. This year, Nigel Collins will get his recognition into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. Henry Haskup, who's a guy who's runs a longtime president of the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. He will be inducted. Henry's one of the good guys of boxing. Always has a lot of positive energy about the boxing scene. So we'll see Henry again. Henry's been the MC the last couple of years, and I think he may hand over those duties this year. So he will be able to enjoy his enshrinement to the fullest. Longtime judge Tommy Kazmarek, who judged so many world title fights here in Atlantic City and whatnot. And Tommy Kazmarek, like I said, the longtime judge in Atlantic City, as well as longtime fight guy Bobby Goodman. Bobby Goodman, who was worked for Don King, a longtime matchmaker. As we see some of the people here in the Great Claridge Hotel here. Also, longtime referee Tony Orlando Jr., who reffed a lot of world title fights here, and commission member Rhonda Utley Herring. Rhonda's still very a valuable asset to Larry Hazard and his crew. She's one of the great regulators in the sport, and with Larry, and Larry, who is a member of the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. A lot of great boxing people, world of entertainment people going to be here. We mentioned Michael Spinks, the former light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world. Former middleweight champion of the world, Kelly Pavlik, will be in the house. Al Cole, the former cruiserweight champion. One of boxing's greatest fans, Chuck Zito, a longtime associate of Arturo Gatti and a lot of fighters. Mr. Basketball, Sonny Hill, guy I've known a long time. Guy's just a legend in the Philadelphia area in terms of basketball and mentoring young kids on the way up. John the Iceman Scully, former super middleweight, light heavyweight, world title contender, will be in the house. We mentioned Angel Man Freddy. We mentioned Arturo Gatti. Angel Man Freddy actually saw them fight Boardwalk Hall. Ivan Mighty Robinson, another Arturo Gatti. One of the big publicists, and she used to be on a lot of the gossip shows back in the day. Former heavyweight champion of the world, Ray Mercer, in the house this weekend. Another guy who fought Arturo Gatti, Tracy Harris Patterson, will be in the house this weekend. Junior Jones, the Poison Man, who has got 2 big wins over Marco Antonio Barrera. Former NBA player Maurice Evans, played longtime Detroit Pistons. Former Olympian Sugar Ray Seales will be here. Tyrone Frazier from the Frazier family. Darrell Mitchell, as well as current heavyweight contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller will be in the house. And last but not least, the Honorable Mayor Frank Gilliam will be here. So we got a great weekend of activities here at the Claridge Atlantic City. I'll just run them real quick. Friday we got the VIP reception at 5 o'clock. Saturday we got two big things. There'll be at the Pop-Up Legends Cafe. There'll be a panel of boxing historians from the Arno Russell Peltz, and they all will be involved with that. Also, there'll be a showcase with Patrick Killian, a great artist from Wales who I met last night. And then during the day at the, I believe down the road here, there will be a meet and greet. With a lot of fighters, everyone who I mentioned, plus some other fighters. I know Thomas Cornflake Lamanna and some of the local fighters will be here as well. Saturday night there will be a comedy show with Danny Provenzano featuring him, the former member. He was on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. The Celebrity Theater will be the Hall of Fame induction. So we have a great week of action beginning tonight with the fight in the old Revel. I still call it the Revel, the Ocean Casino, Golden Boy Promotion. So I will be doing some podcasts and some great interviews with everyone throughout the weekend, and I hope everyone who can't make it down can join in with the podcast. We'll get some questions from everybody to ask some of the legends of boxing. So we'll see you tomorrow beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern with our first podcast.